A long, long time ago in a faraway land lived a girl named Little Red. Now, you may be wondering, why is she called Little Red? Well, that's because she would always wear a little red cap that her loving grandmother made her. Now, it was a fairly regular day, and her mother calls Little Red over. Little Red, come over here for a second. So Little Red makes her way over, and she says, Hi, Mother. And Little Red's mother says, Here, take this bottle of wine to your grandmother. She's feeling very sick and in need of some nourishment. Now, you need to promise me this. When you go to the woods, do not stray off the path. Do you promise me this? And Little Red, with those instructions, makes her way towards the woods. And as soon as she reaches the start of the woods, a big bad wolf comes by. Now, Little Red didn't think much of it. She didn't realize the implications that could come with being encountered by a wolf. Now, as she's walking, the wolf approached Little Red and says, Hello, Little Red. I hope you're doing good. And Little Red says, Yes, hi, wolf. I'm doing great. And the wolf says, Little Red, where are you going? Where are you headed? And Little Red says, Well, wolf, I'm taking this bottle of wine and I'm headed to my grandmother's house because she's feeling very sick and my mother sent me. And the wolf says, Now, where does your grandmother live? And Little Red says, Oh, she lives by the house near the edge of the woods. You must know of it. And the wolf says, And he thinks, well, she seems very naive. And I bet she tastes better than that old hag of a grandmother. I could kill two birds with one stone. So then the wolf walks with her and walks with her. And he comes up with a plan. They see this beautiful meadow with a bunch of flowers. And the wolf says, Little Red, wouldn't you want to pick some beautiful flowers for your grandmother? Look, over there. Go pick some for her. So then Little Red says, That's a great idea, Wolf. I'm gonna go pick the most beautiful flowers for her and she'll love them. So then Little Red makes her way down to the meadow and starts picking the flowers one by one. And she finds more beautiful ones every single time. And as she's doing this, the wolf sneaks away and he runs all the way to grandmother's house without Little Red even noticing. And as soon as he gets to the grandmother's house, he knocks on the door 3 times. He goes, Grandmother says, Who is it? And the wolf says, It's me, Little Red, your loving granddaughter. And the grandmother says, Oh, sweetie, come in. I can't get out of bed right now. You can open the latch. So then the wolf opens the latch of the door and he makes his way inside straight to grandmother's bed. And the next thing that happens is the wolf swallows the grandmother whole. Now, what he does next is he takes each piece of the grandmother's clothing, puts it on to disguise himself, and he lays in her bed waiting until Little Red makes her way to her house. So, Little Red, when she gets all her beautiful flowers and she's satisfied, these look beautiful, she makes her way to her grandmother's house. But she notices that the door is unlocked. That's strange. I feel like something suspicious is going on here. She makes her way inside of the house to her grandmother's bed And she looks at her grandmother and thinks to herself, uh-oh, something suspicious is going on. And she takes a closer look at her grandmother. Oh my, grandmother, what big ears you have. And grandmother, who's the wolf, replies, all the better to hear you with, sweetie. And Little Red Riding Hood, she looks even closer and she says, oh, grandmother, what big eyes you have. And the wolf replies, all the better to see you with, sweetie. And then Little Red Cap looks at her grandmother's teeth and she says, oh my, grandmother, what big teeth you have. And the wolf, not being able to hold back any longer, says, all the better to eat you with. And he swallows Little Red whole, just like he did with her grandmother. Now, finally satisfied, the wolf lays down in grandmother's bed, still in her clothes, and he goes into a deep, deep slumber. Now, coincidentally, a huntsman walks by, and he hears some loud snoring. He makes his way down to the house and has his trusty saw with him because he was cutting some wood in the forest. And he makes his way into the house since the door is wide open, walks all the way to the bed and says, aha! I knew you were here. To the wolf, I've been looking for you for so long, and I finally got you where I want you. And he takes the saw and he saws the wolf's stomach right in half. And out pops Little Red, still alive. And she says, oh my god, I thought I was gonna die. I was so scared. And grandmother also pops out, so grateful that the huntsman decided to come by. And what Little Red does next is that she takes some stones, some heavy stones, and she fills the wolf's stomach with the stones. She stuffs them in there. Stuff. So, and she does this so that he can die before he can escape. And the wolf ends up dying right there, and Little Red is overjoyed. Grandmother can finally enjoy her glass of wine. The huntsman was finally satisfied with killing the wolf after so long, and Little Red vowed to never stray the path ever again and to listen to her mother in these types of situations. The end.